अच्छा याद दिलाया, बिकॉज नहीं तो फिर वो वापस से पूरा रिकॉर्ड करना पड़ता है।
Yeah.
थैंक यू, अच्छा है, आप ध्यान रख रहे हो। हाँ, आई थॉट आई डिड बट समहाउ हुआ नहीं लगता है। गुड। हाँ, ठीक है। तो कल हम लोगों ने वी कंप्लीटेड अध्याय 2 ऑफ कैंटो 7, राइट? सो एज वी नो वी आर ऑन कैंटो 7 आउट ऑफ 12 कैंटोस। Yeah. And 10th canto is where Krishna Leela is there. That's the primary canto. जो श्रीमद् भागवतम जो इंडिया में करते हैं 7 दिन की, वो कैंटो 10th में से होती है अधिकतर, राइट? सो इट्स नॉट, ये जो अपन जो 12 कैंटो पढ़ रहे हैं वो श्रीमद् भागवतम पूरी नहीं होती वहां पे, राइट? ओनली अ समरी ऑफ कैंटो 10 कृष्ण भगवान की लीला पे भागवतम होती है। बट एक्चुअली इट्स ऑल्सो मेंशन कि 10 कैंटो 10th पढ़ने के लिए हमें 9 कैंटो पढ़ना जरूरी है, ऐसा बोला जाता है, बिकॉज वो भाव आने के लिए कैंटो 10th में कृष्ण लीला के भाव आने के लिए हमें 9th कैंटो पढ़ने के बाद ही वो भाव आ सकता है, ऐसा लिखते हैं इसमें। बट एनीवेज, आई मीन श्रीमद् भागवतम इज ऑलवेज गुड। सो वी आर ऑन कैंटो 7 एंड सेकेंड चैप्टर कंप्लीट करके वी आर ऑन चैप्टर 3, या हिरण्यकशिपु's प्लान टू बिकम इमोर्टल। या, और इसमें प्रेम सर का क्वेश्चन था कि ही in the last chapter, Hiranyakashipu himself gave the message, right, to Hiranyaksh and to Hiranyaksh wife and his mommy, right, Diti and mother and everyone else, that the soul and the body is different. The body is going to go from one shape to another depending on the karma. But then here he is trying to become immortal. So let's read this, see what's going on. Anil ji?
Shri Narada Uvac Hiraṇyakaśipu Rajanjeya Majram Ramma Atmanam Pratidvanda Mekarajam Veditastha. Narad Muni said to Maharaj Yudhishthir, the demonic king Hiraṇyakaśipu wanted to be unconquerable and free from old age and dwindling of the body. He wanted to gain all the yogic perfections like anima and laghima, to be deathless, and to be the only king of the entire universe, including Brahmlok. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah? So Narad Muni is, of course, as we know, is replying to Maharaj Yudhishthir. And which yajna Maharaj Yudhishthir was doing at that time?
Rajsriya.
Rajsriya yajna, right? That's what he was doing. And then you know what happened with Shishupal and all that, right? And so Narad Muni is telling to Maharaj Yudhishthir that Hiranyakashipu wanted to be unconquerable, yeah, free from old age and dwindling of the body. Says here Rajan, Ajay. Ajay is unbeatable. Ajay, then Jara, Ajara, right? Like no illness, no old age, and Amar. And he wanted to be Amar. So because he knew that all those things happen, he actually thought he can change this, right? So he wanted to be Amar and gain all the yogic perfection like Anima and Lagima. So when you get yogic perfection, it's called Ashta Siddhi. So the yogis who do the perfection, they get 8 siddhis. Out of 8 siddhis, like Anima and Lagima. So Anima is like they can become as big as they want. Lagima, they can become as small as they want. So like this, there are 8 different types of features or the siddhis, which one can obtain by doing the yogic, the yogas, right? So that's the yogic perfection and be the deathless and all that. So that's what Hiranyakashipu wanted. So Prem said, that's answer to your question. Like he thought all these things happen, so why can't he have the Amar body? And then, of course, he wanted to take revenge from Lord Vishnu. So that's why he wanted to. Yes. Ajay?
Sure. Satepe mandar dronaya tapah param darunam udhvabahina bhodrishti padangu Shritavani. In the valley of Mandara Hill, Hiraṇyakaśipu began performing his austerities by standing with his toes on the ground, keeping his arms upward and looking towards the sky. This position was extremely difficult, but he accepted it as means to attain perfection. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna, yeah. So it is not that he just got those things, right? So he worked hard for them. Hard means too hard, right? So like tapa param daruna, yeah. Austerities by standing with his toes on the ground, keeping his arms upward and looking toward the sky. Yeah, he says udar bahu, keeping his arms upward, right? Navdrashti, yeah, Navdrashti, and padang angusta sitavani, like only on the legs, anguta, right? Says here on with his toes on the ground, yeah, and he was standing on the toes on the ground, and it says like for many years, right? That's how he attained the perfection. Prem?
Jataditi bhi reje sanvartak in Ivan Shubhi Tasmis Mane Deva Sthanani Bhejire. From the hair on the Hiraṇyakaship's head, there emanated an effulgent light as brilliant and intolerable as the rays of the sun at the time of dissolution. Seeing the performance of such austere penances, the demigods who had been wandering throughout the planets now returned to their respective homes. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So the effulgent light started coming from his head during the tapasya. Nisha?
तस्य मूर्धनः समुद्भतः सधूमोऽग्निस्तमोपयः तिर्यगूर्ध्वं धोलोकान् प्रातपद्विश्वगिरितः. Because of Hiranyakashipu's severe austerities, fire came from his head, and the fire and its smoke spread throughout the sky, encompassing the upper and lower planets, which all became extremely hot. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Chakshubhunadhidanvantah sadvipadrisya chalabhu nipetuha sagrahastara jajaluksha dishodasa. Because of the power of his severe austerities, all the rivers and oceans were agitated. The surface of the globe, with its mountains and islands, began trembling, and the stars and planets fell. All directions were ablaze. Anilji?
तेन तत्ता दिवं त्यक्त्वा ब्रह्मलोकं ययुः सुराः धात्रे विज्ञापयामा सुरदेवदेव जगत्पते दैत्येन्द्र तपसा तप्ता दिवि स्थातुं न शक्नुमः. Scorched and extremely disturbed because of Hiranyakashipu's severe penances, all the demigods left the planets where they reside and went to the planet of Lord Brahma, where they informed the Creator as follows: O Lord of the demigods, O Master of the universe, because of the fire emanating from Hiranyakashipu's head as a result of his severe austerities, we have become so disturbed that we could not stay in our planets, but have come to you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. So all of them goes to Brahmalokam. Yeah, they go to the Brahmalokam. And Brahmalok is the highest lok, right? How many loks are there?
14 loks.
14 loks, right? And topmost lok is the Brahmalok, which is also known as Satyalok. That's where Lord Brahma resides, right? But that is all part of the materialistic world, right? And Devatas reside in Swalok, right? Om Bhur Bhuva Swa, right? So we Bhu, yeah, then Bha, and then Swa. That's where Devatas reside, yeah? And then so like this, there are, how many loks are there above what?
7.
Right? 7 loks above what? And then the others are below it, right? So we have Bhur, Bhuva, Sva, Tap, Jan, like that. Yeah, and then we have the Satyalok, which is the highest, where the Lord Brahma resides. So all the devatas go to the Brahmalok. Ajay?
Tasya chopashamam bhuman videhi yadi manyase lokan lokana yavanna langchanti baliharast vabhibu. O great person, chief of the universe, if you think it proper, kindly stop these disturbances meant to destroy everything before all your obedient subjects are annihilated. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Who is saying this?
All the devatas.
All devatas, right, are requesting to chief of the
Brahma.
universe, Lord Brahma, right? That stop these disturbances which are being created by Hiraṇyakaśipu. Yeah. Prem?
Tasyam kil sankalpas karato dushcharm tapa shruyata kim na vidit svatvathapi nivedatam. Hiraṇyakashipu had undertaken a most severe type of austerity. Although his plan is not unknown to you, kindly listen as we submit his intentions. Hare Krishna.
Nisha?
Krishtva characharamidam tapo yoga samadhina adhyaste sarvadhishnebhya parameshti nijasanam tadaham vardhamanena tapo yoga samadhina kalatmanoscha nityatvat sadhishe tathatmanah. The Supreme Person within this universe, Lord Brahma, has gotten his exalted post by dint of severe austerities, mystic power, and trance. Consequently, after creating the universe, he has become the most worshipable demigod within it. Since I am eternal and time is eternal, I shall endeavor for such austerity, mystic power, and trance for many, many births, and thus I shall occupy the same post occupied by Lord Brahma. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. And who is thinking like this?
Hiraṇyakaśipu.
Hiraṇyakaśipu, right? He wants to occupy the post of Lord Brahma. Yeah, and because he knows Lord Brahma, also if you remember, he did tapasya for thousands of years. Yeah, after coming out of Nabi of Lord Krishna, yeah, Karuna Lakshaya Vishnu, he did tapasya for thousands and thousands of years before he came to know who he is, and then Lord Vishnu gave darshan to him, right? So that's what Hiraṇyakashipu is thinking. So read this, Prem.
Hiraṇyakaship's determination was to occupy the post of Lord Brahma, but this was impossible because Brahma had a long duration of life, as confirmed in Bhagavad Gita 8:17. Saharsra yuga paryantam ahar yad brahmano vidu. 1,000 yugas equals 1 day of Brahma. The duration of Brahma's life is extremely great, and consequently it was impossible for Hiraṇyakashipu to occupy that post. Nonetheless, his decision was that since the self, Atma, and time are both eternal, if he could not occupy that post in one lifetime, he would continue to execute austerities life after life so that sometime he would be able to do so. Hare Krishna.
Right. So determined Hiraṇyakashipu was, right? And of course, we know Lord Brahma's age, right? What's the age of Lord Brahma? Remember? What's the expected age of Lord Brahma?
4 billion years.
No, so that's the 1 day of Lord Brahma.
1 day. Oh,
right? So 1 day of Lord Brahma is 4,032,000,000 years. Yeah. Same is his night. So 1 day of, and that is what is mentioned is 1,000 yugas equals 1 day of Brahma. which is 4,032,000,000 years. So 1,000 yugas, what is a yuga? What's called as a yuga? So all the 4 yugas together and then some space is a one yuga. Yeah. So like what are the 4 yugas?
Satyug, Trita,
Kali Yuga, Treta Yuga, and
Dwapar,
Dwapar.
and Kalyug.
Right. Yeah. So Satyug, Treta
Treta.
Yuga, Dwapar Yuga, and Kali Yuga. Right. So that whole cycle is almost 4,032,000 years. Yeah. One yuga is 4,032,000. So you multiply it by 1,000 is 4,032,000,000 years. Yeah. And then we also know the duration of each of the yugas, if you remember, right? We'll probably do it at some other time again. So, but then how long is Kali Yuga? How long is Dwapar Yuga? How long is Treta Yuga? How long is Satyuga, right? And it's amazing that if you calculate all these things, it all comes together. Yeah, quantitatively, everything comes together. So that's the duration of Lord Brahma, and that's what Hiraṇyakashipu wants to achieve, right? Anilji?
अन्यथेदं विधास्ये हम यथा पूर्व मोजसा किमन्यैः कालनिर्धूतैः कल्पान्ते वैष्णवादिभिः. By dint of my severe austerities, I shall reverse the results of pious and impious activities. I shall overturn all the established practices within this world. Even Dhruvaloka will be vanquished at the end of the millennium. Therefore, what is the use of it? I shall prefer to remain in the position of Brahma. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah? So Hiraṇyakashipu wants to be Amar, right? So
Yeah.
to be eternal Amar, right, with the same body, he thinks he needs the position of Lord Brahma. Because even the loks below Brahmalok, right? And he's saying even including Dhruvaloka, yeah, when the end of like the big dissolution, when that happens, right, even the other loks also gets dissolved. Those don't get dissolved in the normal dissolution, right? But when the final annihilation happens, all these loks are also dissolved, and the Rishimuni is staying there, they go up to the chain, right? They also go to the spiritual planets actually. But these other loks get dissolved. So what Hiraṇyakashipu is thinking, he should prefer to remain in the position of Lord Brahma. Ajay?
Iti shushrum nirbandham tapah param masthitah vidhatsva swanantram yuktam swayam tribhuneshwar. O Lord, we have heard from reliable sources that in order to obtain your post, Hiraṇyakashipu is now engaged in severe austerity. You are the master of the 3 worlds. Please, without delay, take whatever steps you deem appropriate. Hare Krishna.
Right. So, yeah, so Devatas are requesting to Lord Brahma, like you need to do something about Hiraṇyakashipu. Okay.
Tavasana Tvij Gava Parameshtyam Jagpate Bhavai Shreyase Bhutye Shemaya Vijyayacha. O Lord Brahma, your position within this universe is certainly most auspicious for everyone, especially the cows and brahmanas. Brahmanical culture and the protection of cows can be increasingly glorified, and thus all kinds of material happiness, opulence, and good fortune will automatically increase. But unfortunately, if Hiraṇyakashipu occupies your seat, everything will be lost. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, because if a demon occupies, then of course, right, that will be a different problem. And says here nicely, Nisha.
In the beginning of creation, Lord Brahma was attacked by 2 demons, Madhu and Kaitab. But Krishna saved him. Therefore, Krishna is addressed as Madhukaitav Hantara. Now again, Hiranyakashipu was trying to replace Brahma. The material world is so situated that even the position of Lord Brahma, not to speak of ordinary living entities, is sometimes in danger. Nonetheless, until the time of Hiranyakashipu, no one had tried to replace Lord Brahma. Hiranyakashipu, however, was such a great demon that he maintained this ambition. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah? So what is mentioned here is the material world is so situated that even the position of Lord Brahma, forget the ordinary entities like us, right, is sometimes in danger, right? Iti vigyapito deve Bhagavan Atma Gunupa Parito Bhrigu Dakshadherya Yo Detekshvarashramam. O king, being thus informed by the demigods, the most powerful Lord Brahma, accompanied by Bhrigu, Daksh, and other great sages, immediately started for the place where Hiranyakashipu was performing his penances and austerities. Anilji?
न ददर्श प्रतिच्छन्नं वल्मीकतत्र तृणकीचकैः पिपीलिकाभिराचीर्णं मेदस्त्वङ्गमांसोडितं तपन्तं तपसा लोकान् यथा भ्रापिहितं रविं विलक्ष्य विस्मितः प्राह हसंस्तं हंसवाहनः. Lord Brahma, who is carried by a swan airplane, at first could not see where Hiranyakashipu was, for Hiranyakashipu's body was covered by an ant hill and by grass and bamboo sticks. Because Hiranyakashipu had been there for a long time, the ants had devoured his skin, fat, flesh, and blood. Then Lord Brahma and the demigods spotted him, resembling a cloud-covered sun, heating all the world by his austerity. Struck with wonder, Lord Brahma began to smile and then addressed him as follows. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So then Lord Brahma and Devatas finally found him. Yeah. And it says Hans Vahana. Whose Vahan is Hans?
Brahmaji's.
Yeah. Lord Brahma's Vahan is Hans. Yeah. So that's what's being said, like by a swan airplane. Yeah. Lord Brahma finally finds him. With a nice purpose. So let's read this. Ajay.
The living entity can live merely by his own power without the help of skin, marrow, bone, blood, and so on, because it is said, Asango he ayam purusaha. The living entity has nothing to do with the material coverings. Hiranyakashipu performed a severe type of tapasya austerity for many long years. Indeed, it is said that he performed the tapasya for 100 heavenly years. 1 day of the demigods equals 6 of our months. Certainly, this was a very long time. By nature's own way, his body had been almost consumed by earthworms, ants, and other parasites, and therefore even Brahma was at first unable to see him. Later, however, Brahma could ascertain where Hiranyakashipu was, and Brahma was struck with wonder to see Hiranyakashipu's extraordinary power to execute tapasya. Anyone would conclude that Hiranyakashipu was dead because his body was covered with so many ways. But Lord Brahma, the supreme living being in this universe, could understand that Hiranyakashipu was alive but covered by material elements. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So as you can see, Hiranyakashipu was doing tapasya for 100 heavenly years. Right? 100 Devatas years. That's Devatas years, right? And it says here 1 day of demigods equals 6 of our months. Yeah. So 1 day of Devata is 6 months. Okay. And I think so 1 year of Devatas is around 365 years. 365 years of us, right? So almost like that comes to Yeah, so 365. So I think 36,500. That is the number of years Hiraṇyakashipu was doing the tapasya for. Yeah. Nisha?
It is also to be noted that although Hiranyakashipu performed this austerity for a long time, he was nonetheless known as Daitya and Rakshas. It will be seen from verse to follow that even great saintly persons could not perform such a severe type of austerity. Why then was he called a Rakshas or Daitya? It is because whatever he did was for his own sense gratification. His son Prahlad Maharaj was only 5 years old, and so what could Prahlad do? Yet simply by performing a little devotional service according to the instructions of Narad Muni, Prahlad became so dear to the Lord that the Lord came to save him, whereas Hiranyakashipu, in spite of all his austerities, was killed. This is the difference between devotional service and all other method of perfection. One who performs severe austerities for a sense gratification is fearful to the entire world, whereas a devotee who performs even a slight amount of devotional service is a friend to everyone. Swardam Sarva Bhutanam, since the Lord is well-wisher of every living entity, and since a devotee assumes the qualities of the Lord, a devotee also acts for everyone's good fortune by performing devotional service. Thus, although Hiranyakashipu performed such a severe austerity, he remained a Daitya and a Rakshas, whereas Prahlad Maharaj, although born of the same Daitya father, he became the most exalted devotee and was personally protected by the Supreme Lord. Bhakti is therefore called Sarvopadi Vinirmuktam, indicating that a devotee is freed from all material designations and Anyabhilashita Sunyam, situated in a transcendental position free from all material desires. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yes, it's nicely mentioned that why he was still called a Daitya and Rakshas, even though he was doing such a tapasya, right? Because the motive was different, right? His motive was still his own sense gratification. He himself wanted to be immortal. He wanted to take the place of Lord Brahma, right? And stay Amar and all that. So that's why he was still a Rakshas. Whereas once somebody is in devotional service, right? They only desire to be in the footsteps of Lord Sri Krishna, right? They are situated in a transcendental position. They are free from all material desires. That's the difference explained, right? Hare Krishna, Jyoti. Jyoti, will you be able to read?
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah.
Shri Brahmovacha Uttishta Bhadram Uttishta Bhadram Te Tapaha Siddhosi Kashayaya Vardohamanu Pratho Vriyatama Siddho Varaha. O Lord Brahma said, O son of Kashyapa Muni, please get up, please get up. All good fortune unto you. You are now perfect in the performance of your austerities, and therefore I may give you a benediction. You may now ask from me whatever you desire, and I shall try to fulfill your wish. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So Lord Brahma is then asking Hiranyakashipu to wake up, get up, so that he can give him the benediction. Srila Madhavacharya quotes from the Skanda Puran, which says that Hiranyakashipu, having become a devotee of Lord Brahma, who is known as Hiranyagarbha, and having undergone a severe austerity to please him, is also known as Hiranyak. Rakshas and demons worship various demigods such as Lord Brahma and Lord Shiva just to take the post of these demigods. This we have already explained in the previous verses. Like Hiranyakashipu wanted to be Lord Brahma himself. Prem?
Adraksh mam metam te hitsamar mahad adbhutam dams bhakshit dehasya prana haitstitu sherate. I have been very much astonished to see your endurance. In spite of being eaten and bitten by all kinds of worms and ants, you're keeping your life air circulating within your bones. Certainly, this is wonderful. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, Lord Brahma is telling this to Hiraṇyakaśipu. Yeah. Ajay?
It appears that the soul can exist even though the bones, as shown by the personal example of Hiraṇyakaśipu. When great yogis are in samadhi, even when their bodies are buried and their skin, marrow, blood, and so on have all been eaten, if only their bones remain, they can exist in a transcendental position. Very recently, an archaeologist published findings indicating that Lord Christ, after being buried, was exhumed and that he then went to Kashmir. There have been many actual examples of yogis being buried in trance and exhumed alive and in good condition several hours later. A yogi can keep himself alive in a transcendental state even if buried not only for many days but for many years. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, so such is the power of yogis in samadhi. Yeah, is what is mentioned. Anilji?
नैतत् पूर्वऋषयश्च कृर्ण करिष्यन्ति चापरे निरम्बुदुर्धारयेत् प्राणान् को वै दिव्यसमः शतम्. Even saintly persons like Bhrigu, born previously, could not perform such severe austerities, nor will anyone in the future be able to do so. Who within these 3 words can sustain his life without even drinking water for 100 celestial years? Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Right. So it appears that even if a yogi does not drink a drop of water, he can live for many, many years by the yogic process, though his outer body be eaten by ants and moths. Ajay?
व्यवसायेन ते अनेन दुष्करेण मनस्विनाम तपोनिष्ठेन भवता जीतो aham Diti Nandan. My dear son of Diti, with your great determination and austerity, you have done what was impossible even for a great saintly person, and thus I have certainly been conquered by you. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
ततस्त आशिष सर्वा ददाम्य सुरपुङ्गव मर्तस्य ते अमर्तस्य दर्शनं नाफलं मम. O best of asuras, for this reason I am now prepared to give you all benedictions according to your desire. I belong to the celestial world of demigods who do not die like human beings. Therefore, although you are subject to death, your audience with me will not to go in vain. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah, what Brahmaji is saying is that demigods, of course, they live for longer and they don't die like human beings. But Hiraṇyakaśipu is also in the Mattasya, like the Mrityu Lok. This Lok is also known as Mrityu Lok, right? But what Brahmaji is saying is, although you are subject to death, your audience with me will not go in vain. Yeah, because he's asking him to get some benediction. So let's read this Jyoti.
It appears that human beings and asuras are subject to death, whereas demigods are not. The demigods who reside with Lord Brahma in Satyaloka go to Vaikuntha Loka in the present bodily constructions at the time of the dissolution. Therefore, although Hiraṇyakaśipu had undergone severe austerities, Lord Brahma predicted that he had to die. He could not become immortal or gain equal status with the demigods. The great austerities and penances he had performed for so many years could not give him protection from death. This was foretold by Lord Brahma. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna. Yeah. So I think we are going to pause here. Yeah. Tomorrow we'll continue to read Shlok 22, Sri Narad Vach. Yeah. And not tomorrow, sorry, Monday. Long weekend. Today is, so yesterday was Ekadashi, today is called Lord Nityananda Triyodashi. So it's Lord Nityanand's appearance day today. So who is Lord Nityananda? Anyone knows? So everyone knows Lord Chaitanya Mahaprabhu, right?
Yes.
So when he says Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, yeah. So after Lord Chaitanya, we also invoke Prabhu Nityananda, right? They are Panch Tattva 5. Yeah. So Lord Nityananda is supposed to be the descendant of Lord Balram. Yeah. So like Chaitanya Mahaprabhu is Lord Shri Krishna in the form of Radharani. Yeah. And Lord Nityananda is Balram, Lord Balram. Yeah. And then we have, of course, Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda. Then we have Sri Advait, Gadadhar, Shri Nivas. Yeah, right. So Jai Shri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda, Shri Advaita Gadadhar, Shivas Adi, Gaur Bhakta Vrinda. Right. So Srivas. So like this, they have 5. So one is Lord Balram, Lord Shri Krishna, then Lord Narsingh Bhagwan. Yeah, Shivji like that. So today is Lord Nityananda's appearance day. So we'll hear a nice kirtan of that. Yeah. So let's hear that. It's 4 minutes. Share the screen.
Nitai pada kamala koti chandra sushitala. Nitai pada kamala koti chandra sushitala. Ye chhayai jagat jurai. Ye chhayai jagat jurai. Yeno nitai bine bhai Radha Krishna paite nai. Yeno nitai bine bhai Radha Krishna paite nai. Drida kori dharo nitai pai. 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 Se sambandh nahi jar vrtha janma gelota. Se sambandh nahi jar vrtha janma gelota. Se pashu boro durachar. Se pashu boro durachar. Nitai na bolilo mukhe majilo samsara sukhe. Nitai na bolilo mukhe majilo samsara sukhe. Vidya kule ki kori betar. 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 Ahankare matta hoya nitai pada pasariya. Ahankare matta hoya nitai pada pasariya. Asatyere satya kori mani. Asatyere satya kori mani. Nitaye koruna habe braje Radha Krishna pabe. Nitaye koruna habe braje Radha Krishna pabe. Dharo nitai charana dukhani. Dharo nitai charana dukhani. Dharo nitai charana dukhani. Dharo nitai charana dukhani. ये चरण सत्यताहार सेवक नित्य निताय पद सदा करो आशा नरोत्तम बड़ो दुखी निताय मोरे करो सुखी राखो रंगा चरणेर पाशा राखो रंगा चरणेर पाशा जय नित्यानंद राम जय नित्यानंद राम नित्यानंद राम जय नित्यानंद राम जय नित्यानंद राम जय नित्यानंद राम नित्यानंद राम जय नित्यानंद राम निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल निताय गौर हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल हरि बोल
It's so nice, right?
Yeah.
Jayanti, Lord Balram, like that. And as you know, right, during era of Ram, Lakshman is the same as Lord Balram, right? The Lord Sankarshan. That's how the whole thing is. So it's
Today
nice.
is
Hmm?
today is also Kadushama Baras, the same Baras.
Oh, I see. Wow. Oh, yeah.
So every Baras we have a dhok.
Acha.
Yeah.
I see. Wow. Yeah, and such a nice day today, actually. It's a lot of this. So I know it's 10:30, but if you want to, we can see, I know we wanted to see the temple of Lord Vara. So we'll just take 4 or 5 more minutes, yeah? Let's see the Lord Vara's Abhishek. There's only one temple in Kalahalli in Karnataka. I think, Jyoti, you may know that.
What is it, Gajin? Which one?
There's a Bhuvara Swami temple in Kalahalli, Karnataka.
In which place is that in?
It's near Bangalore somewhere, I think in Mandya or someplace.
Oh,
In Karnataka.
Kalahalli temple.
Yeah,
Kalahalli temple. No, I've not heard, Gajin. There are so many temples in Bangalore, these days.
This is not in Bangalore. This is a unique temple. This is Lord Varaha's temple. Like we've been reading about Hiraṇyakaśipu, right? So Lord Varaha killed Hiraṇyakaśipu and he gets the earth out of the whole water, right? So Lord Varaha's temple, very popular place. We should find out. It's a Varaswami temple. But we'll see the Abhishek there. Yeah, there was a live Abhishek. We'll just see it for 4 or 5 minutes. Yeah. So let's see this.
it's closer to Mysore temple.
This is a metal shingle. The roof behind me looks like a tile roof, but it's actually
All right. So that's, I think there are very few temples of Lord Vara, right? So that's why I wanted to see that Abhishek.
Yeah. There is one in Tirupati as well.
Oh, is it? Okay.
Yeah, and one in Tamil Nadu. I'm just looking while you were.
I see. Nice, nice.
Yeah.
But see the way they do the Abhishek, like almost an hour, 2 hours, and just and you see Lord Vara, and then you see the Mother Earth, right? Because the Vara
Right.
Bhagwan got the earth.
Right. So all the places it's called Bhu Varaha Sri Bhu Varaha Swami Temple.
Yeah, Shri Bhu, because Bhu is the earth. Yeah, right.
Bhumi, yeah. So it's
And
always Bhu Varaha Swami, yeah.
Yeah. So cool. Hope everyone had a nice darshan of Lord Vara. And then have a nice long weekend. Yeah. See you back on Monday. Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Hare Krishna.
Krishna.
Krishna.